Megan Whitty, your Communications Director, filling in today for Sean Nordley. Don't worry, he will be back next week. If you didn't see it, we put out a live video on Wednesday, and we went through and John Wormuth, our Assistant Community Manager, drew the names of the candidates out of a hat, and that determined the candidate order. The candidate order is as follows. We have Brad Dow, Jared Feldman, Steve Kalman, Glenda Deutsch, Tracy Lyons, Steve Goldman, and Hannah McKenna. So those are your 7 candidates. So you have a lot of opportunities to get to know our candidates. We're going to have an insert in the June issue of Hemlock News. We have a webpage where we have the propositions and candidates on our website. And then also we have some events that you can attend. So we have a cookout on June 7th at Elm Beach for an informal gathering with the candidates. And then on June 13th, we have a formal meet the candidates with questions for each candidate to answer. So members get the opportunity to know the candidates before the election. And I don't know about you, but I am very excited for the upcoming election. We have 8 propositions, 7 candidates, and 5 board seats. So we have 3 for 3-year terms, 1 for a 2-year term, and 1 for a 1-year term. So now the top 3 candidates that get the most votes will get those 3-year terms. The 4th place candidate will get that 2-year term, and the 5th place candidate will get that 1-year term. So who you vote for is important. So we have lots of information out there about our candidates, and we'll have more coming your way. So we also encourage you to go to the barbecue, meet them yourselves, go to the Q&A, ask your questions, and get to know our candidates. And then you can vote for whoever you think would be best on the board of directors. So this week we're going to discuss Proposition 6, which is Bylaw 3.10, and there are a couple of proposed changes for this section. Right now, we currently have language that requires 8 days of notification to announce a special meeting, and this proposition is changing it to 3. With the Zoom capabilities now, it's easier to call a meeting and get all the board members there together quickly. So we're trying to change that, and also how we communicate it. So I don't know the last time you've seen a telegraph, but currently our bylaws still have that as a requirement for communication. So we are trying to remove that in this proposition as well. So we're just updating and modernizing this one right here. So there's been a lot of talk recently about the proposed changes to bylaw Article 6. So we're going to discuss Article 6 in depth over the next few weeks. We also want you to know that these proposed changes were done with the help of our Finance Committee and approved by the board. So these changes were reviewed by legal counsel and also our auditor as well. And their suggestions were incorporated into the proposed language, and they've both approved of the proposed changes. And there have also been claims that the proposed changes give management too much control. And management is guided by the budget, and that is approved by the board every December. So every month financials are reported and reviewed by the Finance Committee and the board of directors. And then we also have reports of line items that go over the budget by 10% or $1,000 every month. So we explain why these line items are over budget and whether we expect any additional spending in these line items. Again, we will be putting more information out before voting starts, so members have as much information as they need before they vote. But we also have on the election webpage and opportunities for members to ask questions about the props. So if you do have any questions, please fill out that form, and management or any qualified individual that can best answer it will answer it for you. We are just e-blast happy lately. So if you didn't see the e-blast that went out yesterday, we put one out telling you that we're opening the Fawn Hill Grand Pavilion with a grand opening. And we want to thank our sponsor, KBA Contracting. What we're actually going to do right before the pavilion opens, or when it opens, we're going to have a little celebratory non-alcoholic toast. So it's family friendly, bring the whole family. And we're going to toast the opening of our new pavilion. So if you haven't been down there already, come down, check it out. It's a beautiful facility, and we're happy to open it up to the members. So the grand opening is on Saturday, May 30th at 10 a.m. And also at 10 a.m. we will be opening our Spring Craft Show and Market. And we'll have over 30 vendors there. Hemlock Farms Volunteer Fire and Rescue will be there. We have a bunch of other vendors. We have a bounce house for the kids, and there's going to be a lot of fun to be had. So come to the opening, the grand opening of the pavilion, and then also come check out the vendors. And you'll probably find a lot of cool things that you like. We're really excited about the opening of the grand pavilion. See, we're ready to go. But there's also been some talk on social media about the concrete for the pavilion. And the pavilion pad was poured to code, and what was recommended by our mason, the township, and the contractor that did our soil compaction and concrete slurp testing during the pour. So talk about doing a monolithic pour was not an option for the size of the pad, which is 120 feet by 60 feet. So the pavilion was engineered for each post to be on 30-inch piers. And then after the pavilion was constructed, the pad was poured, and again, as recommended by the professionals. The decorative coverings of the posts do overhang the pad slightly. And the ad hoc committee is working on options for around the base of the pavilion pad. But for now, there is stone leading up to the pavilion pad. So come out tomorrow, check out the pavilion, the craft show, and we'll be around to answer any questions you might have about the pavilion or the propositions. Well, that's all I have for this week, Hemlock Farms. And let me tell you, I give Sean a lot of credit because this is way harder than it looks. So check out this week's Digging Deeper with Zappy to learn about all of the projects, including Forest Drive, that are happening in Hemlock Farms. And check out the Recreation Rundown for all of the events and programs happening in the community. And have a great weekend, and if you haven't already, sign up for our e-blast so you don't miss a thing, and we'll see you at the grand opening of our grand pavilion.